Good morning, everyone. My name is Anjali Vishwakarma. I'm professor of SIRT from CAC branch. So, in my today's YouTube lecture, I'm going to discuss about some programming languages and about the OOPM concepts. So, if I'm start from the introduction of programming languages, then we can say that it is a collection of lines, or we can say that it is collection of instruction. Using this collection of instruction, we can perform some task. Machine can read all the instruction and give the output accordingly. So mainly programming languages are used to create web pages. We can make a softwares, we can make a application, and they are used to develop a operating system. So programming languages are very helpful. They make our work very easy. We can do our work in easiest way. It can give lots of tools. By using these tools we can perform some tasks, and these are very helpful and easy to use. So if I am divide these programming languages in many parts, like we can divide the programming languages in mainly two parts, that is low level language and high level language. Low level language have machine level language and assembly language, and high level language have OOPM, POP, OOP, and visual graphics. So these are the bifurcation of programming languages. Every programming have their own structure, and every programming have their own behavior to write a program, which is different from any other programming language. So mainly the common thing about the programming languages is that we use some characters, digits, symbols, keywords. So the syntax, the semantics, vocabulary, so these are the things that we use whenever we write any programs. Generally we use the English line words or characters or symbols. These are the things that are that are general to write any program. Like we can use some characters, words, keywords, tokens, numbers, digits. So these are the things. So the programming languages are combination of all these things. By using these things we can write any program. But the only different thing is that every programming has their own structure. So we have to follow these structure syntax to write any program. Now as I already told you that I divided this programming language in two parts, that is low level language and high level language. The one of the most popular language are high level language. So the POP and OOP are the parts of high level language, in which OOP is one of the most important and highly usable programming language. If some language or any programming language which is use the concept of OOP, then we can say that it is object oriented programming language, or we can say that it is object based or object oriented based programming language. So if I give the example of object oriented programming language, then C++, Java and JavaScript and some other programming languages are example of object oriented programming. So these are the diagrams of programming language that show some concepts. Like we use data members, we use functions, we use classes, we use objects. So these are the things that mainly we use whenever we write any programs in OOPM. We use classes, we use object, we use data members, we use member functions, we use data types according to our application or according to our question. So the concept of object oriented programming languages are classes, object, data abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, dynamic binding, and message passing. Why we use these concepts? So I want to tell you that there is another programming language which is category of high level language, and that language is called POP. The full form of POP is procedure oriented programming language, in which we majorly focused on procedures and functions. It is top down approach. It is easy to use, it is simple, it is not cheap, but there are some issue related with this programming languages. Like there's a issue related with security. We cannot use the same program again and again. We have to write the same program again, so it will take our time and space. And some of the things which are not good in this programming languages in POP. To overcome these problems, OOPs came in market, which provide lots of concepts. So these concepts are classes, objects, data abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, dynamic binding, and message passing. Using this concept, we can do our programming in a good manner. It provides lots of features. So the concept of object-oriented programming is that the programs are structured around the objects rather than functions. So if we work with the object, then it is easy to use. It makes the data partitioning into two memory areas, data and functions, and helps make the code flexible and modular. So the object-oriented programming mainly focus on objects, as I already told you, that are required to be manipulated. In OOP, it can represent data as object and that have attributes and functions. So as I already told you, POP have many disadvantages. To overcome this, OOP scam, and OOP have some advantages, like it provide the reusability of concept, it provides the security of concept, and object oriented programming is easy to implement. It also keeps data hide and data information, say it provide safety in data and information, safe from leaking and getting exposed, which helps in making easy for us if we want to keep the records. Oops, it is easy to maintain code, as there are classes and objects, which helps in making it easy to maintain rather than restructuring. OP provide reusability to the code and extend the use of existing classes. Now these are the concept of object oriented programming: classes, objects, abstractions, encapsulation, polymorphism, inheritance. These are mainly the major concepts of OOP. By using these concepts, we can say that OOPM is one of the most important and very good programming language. So the objects are real world entity. Everything in the world are objects. We can say that car is object. Everything is object. Everything is object, like car is object, fan is object. Everything which is part of our real world is object. So and if I'm talking of the classes, then classes are the collection of object. So we can say that classes is real-time entity, and we can say that object is runtime entity. So we can say that classes, in which classes, it is collection of object, or if I want to tell you about the object, then it is real time entity. So if I said it vehicle is a class, then its objects can be its parts. Now the abstraction. So abstractions show only essential information and hide all the unimportant information. It's only show the wanted information, and it hides all unwanted information. Now these are the diagram which show the OOP concepts. So the major concepts are shown in the diagram. So the object oriented concepts are encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. Now this is a diagram of class and object. If the class is car, then its objects are here. Now the polymorphism. So the polymorphisms provide the poly means many and forms matlab forms, it means it provide many forms of single thing. So if I want to use this plus sign with the numbers, then we will, if I add this two number, then I get the another number in the result, and if I want to use plus sign with the string, then I got third string. So the plus sign behaves in a different way in different data. So this is what the polymorphisms. So polymorphisms provide the different behavior in different things. And again we can divide the polymorphism in two types. This is compile time and runtime. In compile time, it again further divided into two parts, that is function overloading and operator overloading. In runtime, we can divide this in function overriding and virtual function. Now the inheritance, it provides the reusability of concept. It means if I write a code, then I can use this code again and again. We don't need to write it again, and so using this concept, we can save our time and space using this inheritance concept. And there are 5 types of inheritance: single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchy, and hybrid inheritance. So these are the types of inheritance in which the number of classes can be large. There can be one base class, or there can be more than one base class, or here we can say that there can be a one child class, or there can be a more than one child class. So every inheritance have their own diagram. Like in single inheritance there is only one base class and one child class. In multiple inheritance there are two base class and one child class. In multi-level hierarchical there are level in the classes. In hybrid inheritance it is a combination of two and more than two inheritance. In the hierarchy inheritance we can categorize, or we can make a diagram in a tree like structure. So there can be a many child classes, or there can be a many base classes. So this is what the hierarchy inheritance. Now this is abstraction, which shows only essential information and hide all unwanted information. If we don't need all the information, then why we will show these information? Those information that is usable, only those information can be shown on the program, and all other information can be hide. So this feature can be provided by OOPM. So I already told you about the encapsulation provide the security. It means it wrapping up of data and function into single unit. This is what the encapsulation. If I keep the data members and member function in a single unit, then it is called encapsulation. By using encapsulation we can provide the security. In inheritance it provide the reusability of concept. In polymorphism it can provide a different behavior on same thing. So this is what the object oriented concept, which provide the information. In my YouTube video I give the little information regarding the object oriented concept. So that was my today's YouTube lecture, and in my upcoming YouTube lecture I will going to discuss some more information. So that was my YouTube video. So thank you so much.